This girl Thacker, Marty Supreme follows a young man named Marty. And Marty has goals to be the world's best table tennis player, and will go to any means necessary to achieve this. This is one of those films that I didn't hear about till the very month it came out. If this one didn't have a lot of good word of mouth, I wouldn't know it existed. But I did find out it existed. And since I was hearing people say it's probably the best film of the year, I decided to check out Marty Supreme. So I haven't seen Marty Supreme. Oh my god, it's absolutely amazing. Easily the best film of 2025. Now I will admit, I was a little hesitant going into it. Mainly because this was advertised as a sports movie. I don't think it's hard to tell, I don't really like sports. They're not my thing. But thank goodness this is not a sports movie. Yes, the core plot is Marty trying to become the world's best table tennis player, but it's not actually about table tennis. It's about the journey getting there, and what lengths Marty goes to try to achieve this. His motivations and goals are understandable. We all want to be the best at whatever we're passionate about, but it's the ruthless way he goes about it, which makes him an incredibly interesting, conflicting, even unlikable character that you still somehow end up engaged in. And throughout the film, you flip-flop on rooting for him and barely being able to stand him. And it works. That's the most impressive feat about this film. A film with a character and plot like this could have easily went off the rails, but it doesn't. It still makes you incredibly engaged and invested in a dislikable character, which is really hard to do. A phenomenal performance from Timothée Chalamet. Its pace is also always on the move, but it's very nice and evenly paced. It goes fast, but never too fast. It always stays engaging. It also gets pretty emotional seeing what lengths this man will go to try to have some meaning. Something everyone can relate to. Although hopefully you don't relate to Marty too much. You might want a bit of therapy if so. I highly recommend Marty Supreme. I think this is one of those ones you have to watch to truly grasp. I absolutely loved it. It was phenomenal. I could not recommend it more. Now let's talk some Anaconda. Anaconda follows a group of friends who as kids loved and wanted to make movies. Now as adults, they finally decide to go for it and go to the Amazon to make a reboot of Anaconda. Now when it comes to the original Anaconda, yeah, it's not a very good film, but I actually do get some enjoyment out of it. It's the perfect level of ridiculousness that I can get behind just enough to say it's a guilty pleasure. Also, Owen Wilson's character's name is Gary, which is of course a reference to me. Don't look up its release date, just trust me on this one. But getting to this new Anaconda, I really thought this could be a very easy hit or miss. It could be pretty funny, and ultimately be even better than the original. Or it could be a lazy, barely funny enough to be considered a comedy reboot. Since I've seen Anaconda, you know what? It's actually pretty good. I would say this is overall better than the original. It's not amazing or anything. This is going down in history as a classic comedy or anything. But this was an overall actually funny comedy. Yeah, none of this comedy is super clever or anything, but it's just really solid, simple comedy. Now I know I just said this isn't a clever comedy, but it actually is a lot more clever than I was expecting. For all the trailers and everything, this wasn't showing out to be a film that actually has some decent commentary and reboots, but it actually kinda does. Sure, it's not that deep or meaningful, it doesn't take itself seriously, it knows what it is. But this is a film that is kinda just about the love of movies and filmmaking. It's a spoof of reboots, which I wasn't really expecting from a reboot of Anaconda starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd. Speaking of which, this is a pretty good cast. They'll do their roles pretty well, they're pretty funny. I found myself caring enough for these characters to be legitimately invested in them. But I will say, this is definitely not a horror film. This is a downright comedy, unlike the original which was a horror comedy. More so comedy, but still had genuine horror moments. But this, except for a few instances, ditches the horror completely, and some people might have an issue with that, but overall I didn't mind it. The film does have a subplot, which isn't really necessary and probably could have been taken out and wouldn't change much. It's mainly used as a plot device to move the story along, so it's just a minor nuisance. The effects are also not as bad. I mean, I've seen better, but I've definitely seen worse. Overall, I enjoyed Anaconda. If you just accept the film for what it is, then I do recommend it. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think about Marty Supreme? And what did you think about Anaconda? Also, if you enjoyed this video, like subscribing. Bye guys for now, bye bye, Thacker.